It is time to leave your worries outside and laugh with us inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma. On Monday, November 25th, 2024, Thanksgiving week, right here inside the Treehouse. Welcome. Glad to be with you on this abbreviated work week. Yay for less work this week. Yay for everybody. You guys aren't yaying.
Yay.
Dicks.
He still doesn't work.
Or did you guys just stop working even sooner than I thought?
He still has to work, and I don't have a job. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. The holidays for the three of us are relative.
Yeah.
You know how much I love to ask you guys questions, especially when they're off the wall, especially at the beginning of a show when I can really catch you off guard. So I'm gonna stick with Treehouse tradition and do just that right now. Are either of you familiar with crotch cocaine?
Well, I went to Texas State, so
You may
I
just
think
not
we
have,
invented it.
yeah, you just didn't have a name for it yet. Mm-hmm.
That's the only way we knew how to do it. So
if you are not familiar with crotch cocaine, I'm gonna hip you to it.
All right.
So here we go. And Trey, as a bartender in Uptown Dallas for many, many years, you're familiar with the cocaine.
Yes. I have witnessed my fair share of blizzards.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of skiing that happens in Los Angeles as well. So
Caroline Cochran, who is from Newcastle, United Kingdom, England, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Caroline Cochran from Newcastle, England, was being detained by police for breaching the peace when she rummaged around her crotch to pull out drugs before throwing them away in full view of police officers. Those officers then recovered the drugs, which were found to be cocaine. The 49-year-old grandma later referred to her crotch cocaine as her poison. The ballsy grandma was due for a court appearance last Wednesday. However, she was a no-show, and a warrant was issued for her arrest. Within 24 hours, Caroline, the crotch cocaine lady, had been detained and appeared in custody to plead guilty to the possession of a Class A narcotic.
Now, did she have it in her hoo-ha? Was she storing it there, or was this a new delivery method?
On October 29th of this year, when Miss Cochran, when police showed up, they found Cochran, the grandmother, to be in a heightened state. Lawyer, the prosecutor, I believe, continued. She was arrested for a breach of the peace. When officers put handcuffs on her, they noticed she tensed up one hand and put one hand down her pants and pulled out several packets of white powder and threw them across the road right in front of the police officers. You can see it. They're right there.
several packets.
Which in the Treehouse means 7.
Wow. Okay.
And one of these days we'll let you know exactly why several means 7. And that will happen someday. For those that know, you know. But those that don't, you'll soon find out.
I just want to know what her street value was.
Yeah, does it lessen it?
Oh yeah, because it was in the cave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think you'd want to keep it in a dry place. If she was a grandma, maybe, but
it does say that on
it's dry,
all
not
the bottle.
barren, not barren.
Tomato. Huh. I mean, all the drugs in my house, which are all, over-the-counter things, and even the occasional, 2 or 3 year old prescription bottle, all say, please, store in a cool, dry place.
And that cool, dry place is not England.
No.
Yeah. Okay. That is.
So that actually begs an interesting question. What's drier, England or this granny's cooter? Or is it just wet on wet? Or is that just known as an English closet?
Either way, really gross.
Yeah,
I mean,
super nasty.
it's got to be odd if you're a guy about to go down on her and she hands you a little straw.
That's going to be
I've
confusing.
I've never done a key bump out of a vagina before.
Yeah.
Well, the brother, you ain't lived.
Yeah. Thought you were a Hollywood type.
You would think I'm just going down there and just getting high at the same time. Wow.
Well, I look at it this way. All the years you spent living in Los Angeles, Raj, and you can't say you did that at least once. I don't think you did that city proper.
I didn't spend a lot of time with Sean Penn. He's known for snorting coke off of various places.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
The English court heard that the Cochran, the crotch cocaine lady, had numerous offenses on her record, including 2 for drug possession. Her defending attorney, though, said that the crotch cocaine was for her own personal use. He said she's a single grandmother. Okay, that's new to me. I've never heard of single mother. I've heard of, but not a single grandmother.
Must be flexible.
When asked why she takes cocaine, she said, "Well, everyone has got their poison."
Okay, that's a very white defense. No offense to you guys, but I'm just saying, it's like, you know what?
None taken.
We all have our vices. Yes, but yours is inside of you. Like, I don't know. Like, is that technically possession?
Oh yeah. I think that's the ultimate in possession. That's like deep possession.
I mean, if it's not in your hands, oh well, I guess it could be.
Well, it was in her hands when she pulled it out and then threw it into the field, trying to deter the police officers. But the other thing you have to ask also, it's like, okay, well, would you want that? Would you want crotch cocaine? Like, is that something you would look at and go like, yeah, I want that up my nose, knowing where it's been?
I would just say if that was my dealer, I'm like, well, that is, I mean, she's putting that in a very secure, secure place. Yeah, I mean, that's taking home delivery to another level.
Yeah. I also think that I feel like we're touching on sort of like the white trash version of the 12 Days of Christmas, because earlier this year, we talked about toilet wine, followed by ditch gin, and now we've got crotch cocaine. I mean, I think we all know what the swans are swimming in. And now we know why those ladies are dancing. It's going to be real sad, though, what happens to those goddamn turtle doves.
That poor partridge in a pear tree.
That's not a pear.
That's not a tree.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
I'm sorry, Trey. Does that say bump? Oh, that's the title of this episode. It is time to get you in a new car, but let's not do it the old-fashioned way. No, let's do it the Treehouse way with Fairlease. Look, you and I know that saving money is important, and Fairlease knows this as well. And that's why when you lease from Fairlease, you can actually pay less compared to buying. You can also customize your lease with things like flexible terms, flexible mileage, and Fairlease will take your trade-in, and they can even work with you and any negative equity you might have. And Fairlease can also save you precious time. Go to fairlease.org. Tell them what you want, what you need, and they bring that vehicle to you. Pretty amazing, right? And then you can just sign all the paperwork remotely. No more wasting hours or days at a car dealership wondering what fun all the other people in the world are having because they called Fairlease. Be one of the fun Fairlease people. Go to fairlease.org today and search for your new vehicle. Go to fairlease.org. That's fairlease.org. The Treehouse is driven by Fairlease.
You're listening to The Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
That previous segment of The Treehouse is brought to you by Fairlease to save time and money on your next new vehicle. Maybe it can be a holiday present for someone special. Go to fairlease.org. That is fairlease.org and lease the no-hassle way and save time and money on the next new vehicle when you lease it from Fairlease. Fairlease.org. The good news right now, back inside the Treehouse, is that not a single one of us, me, Dan, and then Trey, and then you, Raj, none of us are bald. And it seems extremely surprising to me that you can have three guys pretty close in age, all over 40, all around 50, and not a single one of us is bald. I think I'm starting to get a little bit of like the little crown thing on the back of my head. It's starting to thin some, but otherwise we all have full heads of hair. So I consider ourselves very fortunate.
Yeah, but you can stop. I mean, like, I saw that when I was like 35-ish, 38.
That little crown.
Yeah, the lady
going.
that cuts my hair was like, you're starting to thin. So you can stop that now if you want to. And I did. I did the Rogaine and all that stuff, and
Okay.
it just kind of worked. I've never had to keep up with it. They said if you stop using it, it'll fall out.
Okay.
I don't know why mine did not, but
sounds like a good sales tactic.
yeah, but mine didn't. I do the L-lysine, I do the folic acid and all that stuff, like the vitamins in the morning. So
I think if
maybe that helps.
If the hair keeps thinning in the back of my head,
yeah,
like the way it kind of is, I'm not gonna totally lean into it and do nothing. I think instead I'm just gonna see if I can go on eBay and find that Ron Popeil spray hair in a can and just right back there. I think that sounds like fun.
You're just gonna set it and forget it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, a lot of times the thinning on the crown, like for you, Dan, can be from excessive hat wearing.
Interesting. I really don't even wear that many hats anymore. Like
you used to.
I used to, yeah, but I mean, I don't. And honestly, most of the times when I wear hats now, they're usually backwards.
Yeah.
Because I'll have people say this. I've had people say this to me before. It's like, especially if I was at a bar, and I would have an older guy say, those hats don't do any good if they're backwards. And I said, I'm sorry, is the sun shining inside this bar? And then he looked up and looked around. He's like, all right, good point. I'm like, yeah, I know it is. It's like, I'm inside. The hat doesn't need to be forward. If I'm outside and the sun's in my eyes, then the hat is in its proper position.
But do you do the sunglasses like on the hat, or like the thing like the baseball players do, where they put it behind their the rim? Yeah,
where they attach the glasses on the back of their neck.
Yeah.
No, I have like the little string that goes around the frame of the glasses, and they just hang off my neck.
Oh, so you old people glasses?
It's not old people glasses. It's like the fishing things. So you just take them off and they dangle around your neck.
Like how old people have their glasses. Because I've seen like the young kids, like when you used to be young. I think you used to put like back here, or like
I never put them back there. If I ever put them on the back of my neck, that was out of necessity, because I don't like that, because then it makes it look like there's a face back there, and that's weird.
Yeah. I've never heard the hat thing. I've worn a hat my whole life. I know that balding is a sign of excessive testosterone. So
I've heard that, and based on my low testosterone numbers over the years, it ain't that.
Actually, it's more to do with estrogen. Like I've been on Propecia for 25 years, I started losing my hair when I was about 25. And
Oh wow. Okay.
So your hair is performance enhanced, cheater.
yes.
Hey, no shame. Good on you. The reason why I bring up the bald thing is because if you are bald and someone calls you bald at work, there may be a new legal precedent for you to sue their ass for sexual harassment.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's about to get stupid in here. In 2019, an electrician named Tony Finn accused his boss in the United Kingdom at the British Bung Company of sexual harassment after being called, and I quote, a stupid bald. A panel of judges, all bald men, ruled that the term bald is inherently linked to gender, making the remark a violation of equity laws. The judgment, which took 4 years to finalize, could result in compensation for Finn. So let that sink in. This guy in England at work by his supervisor was called a stupid bald, and the company got sued for sexual harassment, not for calling him stupid, not for calling him but instead because he's bald.
Notice how Trey has no problem with any of this.
Well,
his favorite word is there.
Again, you go to the British Australian use of that word, and that can be endearing. Maybe it was,
Maybe he gave a gift to the boss, and he's like, "Oh, thank you, you stupid bald." Yep.
I mean, maybe he wanted a blank bump. I don't know.
I didn't know you worked in the UK, Trey. I had no idea.
He made the claim against the British Bung Company, which is another issue. I haven't even looked up that company, but it's in England, and apparently they make bungs. And I've got questions that I don't want the answers to. I like thinking what I'm thinking in my head and not getting any confirmation on it whatsoever. I'm just going to continue thinking what I want to think there. He said he was a victim of sexual harassment after comments were made about his baldness, including being called a stupid bald by his supervisor during an argument. His supervisor also threatened to deck him, saying the victim said the encounter left him fearful for my personal safety.
I guess I'm confused as far as we got to sexual harassment. I mean, it for everything you said, if they said it was, gender discrimination, okay. I mean, still stupid, but at least in the context, that seems it would make more sense. But there doesn't seem like there's a lot of, anything sexual about this.
The 3-person panel said the remark crossed a line and dismissed an argument that the comment was not sexist because women can be bald too. The judgment said there was a connection between the word bald and the protected characteristic of sex, noting that it is much more prevalent in men than women. The panel, led by Judge Jonathan Brain, who's bald, added, "We find it inherently related to sex."
I mean, I promise you, if they could find the ghost of Sinead O'Connor, she would tell them no. That is not just based on gender, because especially after the tearing up the picture of the Pope thing, I promise you, she got called it a lot.
Dan's gonna go to butt stuff here in a second.
I'm not going to the butt stuff. She did. She's the one that brought it up. She's the one that promoted it. She was the one that said to her dying.
I don't remember her having
butt stuff.
I don't remember her having a line of butt toys.
Because she never had the chance, Trey. She died too young.
I mean,
it was all that crotch cocaine.
Yeah.
Well, it turned. Well, and none of us knew that the real subject of "Nothing Compares to You." She was singing it to a butt plug.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Be sure to check out all things Treehouse at treehouseonair.com, including you can donate to the RMS Treehouse Listeners Foundation right there at treehouseonair.com. So it'll drop down, click on that. And all that money goes to benefiting the families of fallen police officers and firefighters in North Texas who have been killed in the line of duty. All there at treehouseonair.com. Thank you very much. Back inside the Treehouse now, Dan O'Malley along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma. Are you a premature decorator? Honest to God, I ask these questions mainly just because I like to see Raj's response to them. But I mean it. Are you a premature decorator? And if so,
Define decoration.
Define premature.
I'm going to, but I'm going to do both for you. Okay. Premature decorating, meaning we're in the throngs of the holiday season, right? You've got it started with Halloween, then it goes through Thanksgiving, and then through there's Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, I guess kind of counts as well, the New Year's, all that stuff. The quote unquote holiday season. And by premature decorator, I mean, are you decorating for Christmas before Thanksgiving? Because some people see that as, ooh, that's too soon. Like growing up in our family, we didn't start decorating for Christmas until the day after Thanksgiving. So the next day after Thanksgiving in our house was, okay, we're bringing out all the decorations, we're putting up the tree, and that's the day we would do all the decorating. But now people, and I don't know if it's from the COVID years or what, from people leaving up their Christmas trees into like March and beyond. Early Christmas decorating is now a thing to where people just kind of embrace it. Basically, as soon as Halloween is over, they just start throwing up the Christmas stuff, and judgment be damned.
Well, it goes back to one of my original points of I don't know if this was during the plush show or what, that Thanksgiving isn't as big of a deal as it used to be. But
Yeah, definitely not in my house. It wasn't a big deal, and I was always offended every year when they did the Thanksgiving play in elementary school. I always knew which role I was going to get. I was
Typecast.
I just wanted to be a pilgrim.
Just wanted the hat.
I just wanted the hat with the buckle. Instead, I got feathers and moccasins. That's what I got. But no.
And then you went to Hollywood and they turned you into a terrorist. Sounds to me like elementary school just prepared you for adulthood.
For job placement.
Yeah, pretty much. And no, then, so I ask about the premature decorating because psychologists have now weighed in. They suggest that decorating for Christmas early can boost happiness, offering comfort and rekindling warm childhood emotions. I will freely admit the reason why I love Christmas as much as I do isn't because of birth of baby Jesus and all that kind of stuff. It's because it's some of my happiest memories as a child. It's almost like there was a moratorium on family fighting and abuse during the holidays, at least for a little bit. And Christmas was fun and it was magical and the family felt good and close and joy and happiness and all that. That's why I love Christmas to this day, is because I have those warm and fuzzies from childhood.
That's very sweet, man. My dad told me that Santa was too busy. He was a very busy man and he couldn't get to our house. Even though everybody on either side of us and across the street, apparently he had visited. And he said, my dad said he called and said he couldn't make it and to take me to Toys R Us. Honestly,
it's nice that your dad even went that far.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lazy approach, but it's still, I mean.
We were in the parking lot. I was 8 and I just looked at him and go, he's not real, is he? And he goes, oh, okay. That was it. He
could have just told you that Santa was Jeffrey the giraffe.
He might as well. He's like, he told me to get you some Nerf. I'm like, that's not. Yeah, he's not real.
A study in the Journal of Environmental Psychology supports this, noting that holiday decorations spread a sense of friendliness and togetherness among neighbors. Embracing early decorations extends the festive excitement, creating a cheerful atmosphere that promotes well-being in a stress-filled world. So if you are a premature decorator, by God, embrace it, because chances are you're just a little bit happier than everybody else. Also, you probably don't give a flying what anybody else thinks. So hats off to you there.
Okay.
Trey, you look very judgy on this. I can see your hamster wheel spinning with the little Santa hat on.
I've so when back in your days when you were like working at KVIL and they started playing Christmas music, you felt a sense of joy?
Oh no. No, that was the dark ages of Christmas in my life. I was Felice you. That's how I felt about that. It took me years from doing those Christmas specials at KVIL in Dallas, where, keep in mind, that was back in like 2000 to 2002. The Christmas special was only for like 24, 48 hours of all Christmas music. Then it went back to normal. Nowadays, radio stations start playing Christmas music, November 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Some may even go before Halloween. Now, I don't know, because some people are just crazy. But because of the 2 years that I spent on Christmas duty at KVIL, it took me a solid 15 years before I could listen to Christmas music again.
Gotcha. Okay. So maybe the situation overseas and like all the conflicts is because they don't have premature decorating. Is that maybe that would solve all the issues?
It might. According to psychologists, premature decorators are happier than everybody else. So maybe if Putin would just put up a Christmas tree, this would all be a nicer planet.
We're going to do that. I'm going to next year. I'm going to the border of India and Pakistan, and I'm
going to line it with Christmas trees. If you line it with crucifixes, it may turn ugly. So be careful.
Kashmir Christmas.
You're listening to the Treehouse.
What's that?
Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
I didn't hear it. What'd you say? Oh, just shut up.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You can also advertise inside the Treehouse, treehouseonair@gmail.com. Sponsorship opportunities available right here inside the Treehouse. Just shoot us an email, treehouseonair@gmail.com. Back inside the Treehouse now. Trey, what did you say? I didn't hear it over the damn bumper. What'd you say?
I said a Kashmir Christmas.
Like lining the border of India and Pakistan with Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
That's the new all brown Lifetime movie. All I want for Christmas is Kashmir. Well played, Trenholm.
Oh.
Well played. I'm so proud of you right now. You have no idea. Most people won't get that joke.
No.
But those that do, they're going to be asking for sweaters under the tree.
Yeah,
this year.
90% of our listeners is like, what's the joke about? I mean, it's a fine sweater.
Oh, get it.
Really soft.
I'm crying. That's so good. Oh, that made my day. That made my Christmas. Thank you, Trey.
Yeah, I think on Christmas, Raj, what we'll do is we'll send you a clip of that, and that'll be our Christmas gift to you.
Or just something Kashmir would work as well.
Like a nice cashmere pot holder.
Oh, that was so good. Thank you so much for that, Trey. I really appreciate that. See, I believe when he turns off Fox News, I believe Al Jazeera comes on for just a second.
Well, Trey's got to keep up with everything going on in the world.
Yeah. I think that's where he gets his views on all things subcontinent, India and Pakistan, is just the 2 minutes before he falls, before the NyQuil Z's kicks in. the 2 minutes that is on Al Jazeera before it fades to black. And then he goes, I can relate to Raj. Yeah, thanks.
I can't wait till the next time I see Raj. I'm going to tell him about all I have learned.
In the 2 minutes before he falls asleep. There it is.
All right. It is time for one of our new features here inside the Treehouse, a little game we called Believe It or Not. So, Trey, Raj, are you ready to play Believe It or Not here inside the Treehouse?
I am.
You betcha.
Today's subject of Believe It or Not is Canada has introduced an unhappiness leave for workers. Believe it or not, Canada has introduced an unhappiness leave for workers. Do you believe it or not? Trey, we'll start with you. Yes or no? Do you believe it or not?
Yeah, for a country that had to pass a law that said, because they say I'm sorry so much that can't be considered a confession. Yes, I'm going to go with I believe it.
All right. And Raj, do you believe it or not?
Yes, I have a lot of Canadian friends, and you can punch them in the face and they'll apologize to you. So I find an unhappiness leave to be 100% true.
You are both wrong. Unhappiness leave is real for workers, but not in Canada. But surprise, surprise, in communist China. That's why I couldn't do Believe It or Not by saying, do you believe China has introduced an unhappiness leave for workers? Because I don't think there's any way you would have bought into that.
Those kids are going on strike until they get a little bit more cotton candy.
Yeah, lunchtime at the Temu factory is going to get real.
1.7 billion people on PTO right now.
A Chinese company has introduced an unhappy leave policy, allowing employees up to 10 days off if they aren't in a good mood. That's on top of sick leave. The policy is praised for promoting mental health and work-life balance and was created by its founder to combat long working hours and improve morale. Just the fact that this is coming from a Chinese company is truly astounding.
Yeah. Well, the motherland doesn't let you be unhappy, but yeah.
They're known for boosting morale. That's what the Chinese are known for.
Yeah, like you remember the guy that stood in front of the tank? Yeah, he was on unhappiness leave.
Permanently.
Yeah.
Yeah, Walmart has nets around the building. I don't know if you know this. This is true. They have nets around the building so you can't commit suicide. It just catches you and then sends you back to work.
Jesus. Well, like, I mean, it's obvious. It seems silly that China would be the last country that would have a company that would, implement unhappiness leave. The only thing is, just because you take the unhappiness leave doesn't mean you're going home. I mean, it's communist China. You may just end up in a camp.
I'm going to go home. No, you're not.
Not today, did he?
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Be sure to check out all things Treehouse. Like you said, there at treehouseonair.com. You can also subscribe to the Treehouse on Patreon. Patreon.com/treehouseonair. 3 levels of more Treehouse to enjoy. Treehouse Plus, Super Plus, and Ultimate Treehouse. That's where you get all the stupid at patreon.com/treehouseonair. Thank you very much for subscribing. Back inside the Treehouse now, I'm Dan, along with Trey and, of course, Raj. It is Monday, November 25th, 2024. So let's celebrate with some birthdays. Katie Cassidy is 38 today. She is David Cassidy's daughter, and she was also the Black Canary on the Arrow TV series from the WB/CW, whatever it was at the time when I watched that show. I enjoyed that show. And you watched it too, Raj?
I did.
So you know who Katie Cassidy is, very pretty young lady.
Yeah, it was Justin Hartley, right? Who played the Green? Oh no, it was before. He was on Smallville. He played the Green Arrow, and then it was a different guy. Yeah.
Now the guy that played Green Arrow on Arrow was Stephen Amell, whatever is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still a good show.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I guess that's really all I got to say about it. Happy birthday to Katie Cassidy. She's 38. I will say this: if you go back and watch, or if you noticed when you were watching that show, it's not like Katie Cassidy was in any sense of the word overweight whatsoever, right?
Okay.
But once her character started to shift into more of an active, like where she started to turn into the Black Canary kind of superhero thing, she got ripped.
Yeah. I did notice that. That's true. Yeah.
So happy birthday to Katie Cassidy. She's 38 today. David Cassidy's daughter. Good on her. Yay, Hollywood nepotism. Undefeated. Joey Chestnut turns 41 today. He is the hot dog eating champion of the world. He is 41 today. Let me make sure. Yeah, he's still alive. Jenna and Barbara Bush, the Bush twins, they are 43 today. What?
Okay, so they went to UT, and Trey's face immediately went, nope. Yeah, I know they turned 43, but their ID says they're 17. So.
Forever young.
I went to some parties that they were at when they were in their young wild days, and they were a tandem. Very nice girls, but they
didn't do anything that any other girls. Or that most girls at UT or whatever didn't do. It's just that their father was president. And
they just had Secret Service.
That's what I was about to say.
Protection.
Yeah, the difference was that the person holding their bong was Secret Service.
I just enjoyed the try to pass off the I'm 21 fake ID with the Secret Service right behind you. The Indian, the guy who owned the liquor store was Indian. He's like, I don't think so. That was it.
I'm not buying it. Happy birthday to the Bush twins. He played Turtle on HBO's Entourage. Jerry Ferrara turns 45. Also turning 45, Joel Kinnaman. He was RoboCop in the new RoboCop movie. He was also in AMC's The Killing, and he was Rick Flag in the 2 Suicide Squad movies. Joel Kinnaman, 45 today. Did anyone see the RoboCop remake?
You did.
All right, yeah, I did.
Did Hollywood send you a thank you letter?
along with a screener, yeah. They said, you know what? You've done so much for us. Just here. This one's on us. I did. I watched that movie, and it was kind of ridiculous. And keep in mind, the original RoboCop was over the top. It was meant to be. It was ridiculous. But in this one, when he gets, instead of getting shot to pieces like in the original RoboCop, in the new RoboCop, he gets blown up next to his car. So all that's basically left is like, I'm sorry, but this is funny. You can just go look up RoboCop remake, and then you can see his physical remains on a Google image search. It's basically like a chunk of his face, and like an artery going down, and then like a chunk of pancreas, and that's like all that was left. That's what they built the machine around, and it showed it in the film. I'm like, this is just dumb. They're trying to say that guy was alive. Oh God.
And you watched it till the end.
That's what I was that was the part that was unbelievable.
Yeah.
To me.
Yes, I did. I watched it to the bitter end. Thank you very much.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
And if today is your birthday, happy birthday from all of us inside the Treehouse.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
When you go to treehouseonair.com, on the lower right-hand corner of the little screen, you can click on the microphone and talk back to us right here inside the Treehouse. You click on that, and you can leave us a voicemail. Get it right here inside the Treehouse, and we may even use it on the show. So go to treehouseonair.com and talk back to us right here inside the Treehouse. What is it, Trey?
Have you told Jerry that about that?
About the talkback button on our website at treehouseonair.com? Not yet.
Okay. I'm just curious.
I'm just going to surprise that with him over the holiday break.
Yeah.
Here you go. There's some voicemails for you to go through. In case you're bored over the holidays, here you go. Yeah. So, yeah, you can do that. You can leave us a message at treehouseonair.com, the little talkback button. That's the microphone, lower right-hand corner, and Jerry will get those and then pass them on to us. That was a choke. All right, one last thing to take care of here inside the Treehouse today, and that is a banana worth $6.2 million? Well, I guess the short answer would be if someone's willing to pay it, then yes.
Mhm.
But to the rest of us that don't have that kind of stupid amount of money, no, that's just really, really dumb.
Mhm.
But that's the world we live in. Because I don't know if you guys remember this, but all the way back in 2019, a banana duct taped to a wall sold for $120,000.
Mhm.
There was a social media uproar and an age-old debate about the meaning of art ensued. It was actually titled "Comedian" is the art piece by Maurizio Catalan. It was his viral creation back in 2019 and originally sold for $120,000. Just a banana duct taped to a white canvas.
Mhm.
Well, there have now been 3 editions. Let me start over. One of the artwork's 3 editions smashed estimates to sell at Sotheby's in New York last week for $6.24 million. Yeah.
Wow. For a banana.
Not just any banana, but a banana duct taped to a white canvas. So the original sold for $120,000 in 2019. And then Maurizio Catalan's viral creation titled Comedian proved a sound investment for one collector. One of the artwork's 3 editions smashed estimates to sell for $6.24 million at a Sotheby's auction in New York last week. The auction house had estimated the work would go for between $1 and $1.5 million, and bidding began at $800,000.
Yeah.
The winner of the new banana is Chinese cryptocurrency entrepreneur Justin Sun. He outbid 6 rivals to acquire the piece, later announcing he would eat the banana as part of the experience. So imagine being so rich, you buy a banana that's considered art at $6.24 million, and then you probably eat it.
I'm so glad you said that because I was just about to say, Whitey McWhite.
So was I. I was like, what's the white dude's name? And then you said Justin. I was like, we're on our way. And then you gave him an Asian last name. I was like, of course he ate it.
I didn't give him the Asian last name. It's his name. It's a Chinese crypto bro.
I mean, I feel like we had a story, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago about how, the thing about, monkey and typewriter, end of time, they wouldn't, come up with the works of Shakespeare, but they can come up with $1 million art. A monkey and a duct tape, artiste.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. You put a monkey in a room with a banana and some duct tape, and next thing you know, you got a 7-figure art piece.
But again, same thing. I was like, "Oh, Trey, just say white people." And then you started to. And I could be
Well,
like,
but the buyer was
wouldn't
Asian.
surprise
What,
you.
it just did.
It wouldn't
Oh, you
surprise
know,
you if they were.
a white person thought of it. Absolutely.
Well, a white person made the canvas.
The artist's name is Maurizio Catalan.
Yeah, he's still white. I don't care where you put him. He's still a white dude with time on his hands.
All right, fine. I'm gonna look him up here. Maurizio Catalan. Let's see here.
$6.4 million. His parents took unhappy leave, is what they did.
Yeah, it appears that he is a white dude.
Yep, I told you. Does he kind of look like Trey? Because they all do in my head. I'm just saying.
I just see him driving an Alfa Romeo with a sidekick, Clyde.
And it's actually Clyde the orangutan doing the art, and then this guy's just taking the credit for it and all the cash.
But they're both smoking and drinking a coffee.
Yeah.
The Italian version of BJ the Bear is really entertaining. Just a monkey looking out the window, or in the sidecar of a motorcycle, looking at you, going, "Ciao."
They'll never understand our art.
No, never. All right. Check out all things Treehouse at treehouseonair.com. Follow us on social media at Treehouse On Air. For me, it's at the Dan O'Malley. For Trey, at Trey Trenholm 1. And for Raj, at Comedian Raj. We will see you back in here tomorrow, right here inside the Treehouse.